What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Odyssey Racing League's Division 1 series here at Indianapolis. We are getting ready to go completely live and bring you to the action on the track. Just bear with me for a few seconds and I'll get everything ready to rock and roll for you. But as we continue to work... Why is this showing up twice? And here we are, Indianapolis, boys and girls. I hope you all are having a good week so far. We've got a special one in for you tonight. It is going to be obviously Indianapolis, and it's a twilight race actually starting in the morning. So Manzana can't join, huh? Is he in the right server? He might need to check out the, tell him in the Discord, because, yeah, one thing I don't have control over is that, so somebody's going to have to help out on that one. But, anywho, here we go. We got a few cars on the track. This is just practice here. So I guess while we're waiting, we can just go ahead and look through some issues about the track. Not issues, but about the track itself. So let's just go ahead and do that. So this is obviously going to be Indianapolis Odyssey Racing League Division 1 Round 4. So Indianapolis is a 2.439 mile, 3.925 kilometer, 14 turn clockwise running track with some heavy braking zones into turn 1. Let's see. Then turn 8 is a heavy braking zone, which then leads you into the S's, which is more of a coasting zone, back onto turns 3 and 4 on the regular oval circuit into another heavy braking zone for turn 13 and 14, which then loops you back around onto the track itself. So that is the actual track that you're looking at and what we'll be racing on. For those who've never been to Indianapolis, I definitely recommend going to Indianapolis. It is a wonderful experience, even if you're not an Indy 500 fan, with the advent of NASCAR taking over and running there in now GT3s. So the fastest lap at the track itself is a 122.439 by Rafael Marcello in its Mercedes AMG GT3. That was in 2022, so last year, in the 8 hours of Indianapolis. So there you go. Now you're in the knowledge and know-how, boys and girls. So that is going to be the gist of what the race is actually going to be. I'm just trying to get everything set up just a little bit better here so I can see what's actually going on the track. So bear with me one moment, guys. I'm trying to get everything set up on my triple screens here so I can see a little bit better of everything that's going on. That way it makes life a little bit easier for me, being able to keep track of everything on the track itself. So so as you're watching Steve Sloan here, our fastest car on the track right now is actually Paul Mariage in his Alpine F1 Porsche, but apparently the livery did not show up. So I did sync the liveries before the race. I don't know why they're not actually showing up. Makes no sense. Maybe if I can get Paul to actually send me the liveries, we can actually get going here with his, so it looks good. But I don't think, with him being on the track, I don't know if he's going to have enough time to do that. Okay, so it says it's been updated. Okay, whatever. I'll believe it, I guess, whatever. But that is the actual end of the practice session. So we're going to actually wind into the qualifying session here pretty soon. Just give it a few seconds. There are a couple cars on the track still. Jacob Smith. Steve Sloan still out there. But, Paul Mariage ran a 137.427. Joe Kaiser is P2 with the 37.5. So, what's that? 73 hundredths of a second difference in time. I mean, again, that's practice. And then basically another, tenth of a second down is P3. And then another 13 thousandths is P4. So look at the timings here. It's quite nuts. It's basically top 7 are all within 4/10 of a second of each other, and that's just being generous with the math on my head, because I'm not very good at maths. As Jeremy Clarkson would say, maths did me no good. But yeah. Alright, so as we get going for qualifying, let's go ahead and hit drive here. Oh, Lord. Yeah, so I'm trying to get a livery file from Mariage here, and it's not working out very well on my side. So let's see here. I don't even know what this car is called. Sponsors. I don't even see a JSON. I say decals JSON, sponsors JSON, but I don't see the exact name of his car. So it looks like we might be out of luck with that. Hey, Andreas, what's going on, my friend? Alpine F1 is what he's calling it. Okay, so let's see if I can find it by Alpine F1. Oh, there they are. Okay, so it does allow me to do that. Alright, so let's go ahead. Decals JSON's in there. Let's go decals that, download that. I don't know what I just decals. 1 DDS, sponsors, 1 DDS. Sponsors. That's a JSON. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, pal. Gosh darn it. There's sponsors. I'm trying to hurry up and get his thing up here so we can try to make it look pretty. And let's see what's going on here. Sponsors that one, DDS. Okay, put that in there. Decals 1. I think they saved that to pictures. I don't know where the hell it saved it to. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm being out of order here. I'm trying my best. It says this PC and downloads. Okay. Alright. I moved everything over. I don't think it's going to work because I'd have to probably back out of the server itself. But it is what it is. So as qualifying is going on, we're 11 minutes and 50 seconds into the race, or our qualifying. Oh, Jesus. Manzana! What's going on, brother? You want to hang out with me? You want to do some commentary tonight? So, Jean-Eric Arena, who's a staple in the community here, has kindly let us know that he was not the smartest person today and didn't realize he couldn't sign up when he did. So, currently, no one's put a fastest lap technically in until now. Daniel Lopez, has done so. So he is leading the pack right now on P1 with 36.57. Number P2 is Marriage in a 37.497, which is basically about what he ran in practice. So good for Lopez to get some speed going on there. Again, it looks like we're having a tight bunch of cars here. I think between qualifying and the actual race itself, I'm going to try to back out and come back in real quick. Hopefully the liveries will be synced up. We can go from there. But, Gustavo Rodriguez here down in P14. He's out on his lap right now. It's a 155.445. We have a Chilean running with us. Quite a few South Americans running with us. Vargas, Rodriguez. I'm trying to think who else is. Marriage de Mexico. Luke Locklear, he's one of our boys down. He's a Trinidad. I believe he's from Trinidad. TNT, Trinidad and Tobago. So, guys, what do you think I should do? Should I start naming the chat the Odyssey Racing League chat channel, or should we have one of our sponsors be part of it, like Rogue Energy Chat? What do you guys think? So we got a couple guys in here. Richard's not going to be here today, so 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go in qualifying. We still have Daniel Lopez on pole. He's only up by 0.4 of a second. Now we got 3 cars into the 36s with Lopez, Locklear, and Mirage. I don't know how you want to pronounce this. I guess he's told us before. I don't know, but apparently that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. But Paul has decided to get rid of his Red Bull Racing since Checo is sucking, as what he said, and he's going with the Alpine livery. Once the qualifying's over here in 8 minutes, I'm going to back out of the server real quick and jump back in, so it should be showing up. If it doesn't, then I guess whatever. All right, so it looks like we're still with 3 cars in the 36s. We have quite a few cars in the 37s all the way up to P8, so make that 4 cars into 36s, with Jacob Smith now joining the foray here. Looks like we're having a foursome up there in the top of the field in the 36s. But a tight-knit group, though. Everything's even from 10, so 10, 11, 12 are 38s. And Gustavo and Adrian are in the 40s, and Adrian is 6 minutes and 20 seconds, so he's obviously zapped out on his times here. So let's take a peek at, let's go to Cooper Samuelson. As I do that, he is yellow flagged, so he probably invalidated his lap, which figures. I jumped to him and that happens. So, yeah. Can you guys hear me well? As Adrian says, let's go Luke. Listen to Luke getting down on himself there before the practice, and the practice server itself was kind of sad to hear. He was not too high on himself, let's just put it that way. We're going to go ahead and jump to, let's go to, as soon as I say I was going to jump to them, they decide to zap their times. Well, let's go to Steve Sloan. He's 2/10 up, 1/10 up on his time. Now we finally starting to get a couple more cars beating their personal best. Daniel Lopez has cracked a 35-second mark here. Steve Sloan just put in a 37.3. That does not improve his positioning on the track. He's still in P7. I'm trying to see. We got Gustavo here in the RFC McLaren. I'm not quite sure what that means, but kind of looks like KFC coloring here. So the Flying Chicken Mobile, he is kind of, now I kind of want KFC. But Joel Price in the Private Dancer Racing BMW Odyssey Racing League Purple 100, car number 69 on the track, number 1 in your hearts. He is 3/10 up on his time right now. He's in P12 actually. This is not Luke Ghostly. This is Ian Demler. Luke is calling the Division 2 races, while I now have moved down from Division 1 to Division 2. And so he's calling those, and I'm calling the Division 1 races. So, nice to meet you, Adrian. Oh, hope you guys are having a great week. This is, I think, going to be an interesting race. There were a lot of guys talking about taking tires during the race, so let's see how this actually plays out for everybody involved. But currently, Daniel Lopez has basically over a half-second gap between P1 and P2. It's a pretty healthy gap here on the track for qualifying times. It looks like Lopez has pulled out the old Max Verstappen rule here. But we don't have many guys really doing great on time. Gustavo's 8/10 up on his time. He's still in the 140s. And Vargas down there is in 142, which is surprising, to be honest with you. I'm kind of shocked. Oh, okay. Well, I could have swore I saw someone say, "Hi, Luke." They must have deleted it. Can you delete these? I don't know. Anywho, asking the wrong person, but Gustavo Rodriguez in P13 and car number 39 there. He's 7/10 up on his time. He does bring in a 141.92. Does beat his personal best. But we're going to jump to Johnny Damachi in his Rocket Racing McLaren. He is 7/10 up on 8/10 up on his time as he's going through turn 11. 14 turns here. Let's see if he can keep this up. He's still 8/10 up on his time. That 8/10 would put him right in the... Oh, goodness. Where would that put him? Pretty close to the P5 if he can hold out on this. 1.1. Yeah, he's going to be in P5 or P4. Off the top of my head, my math's not that good. So, come on, Johnny. And when I say that, he loses a ton of time in that section there. He lost over a half a second. 0.7 of a second. He's a half second up. So there's that going to put him. That puts Johnny Damachi in P8. Let's go back to Joel Price here. He's 5/10 up. Oh, Daniel Lopez is actually going to... Looks like he might be beating his time here. He was purple. Johnny, let's see. You know what? Let's take a ride inside the car here of Daniel Lopez as he's going around the track here. So this is turn 6. You're going to be heading on the short backstretch. This corner and then coming up S's always gets me off. I can never seem to get the pace out of these corners as I'd like to, so it's very frustrating for me to run on a track like this because I can't just get into the point where my brain wants to go gas, 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 give it fuel. And the car doesn't like that because, like I said, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box here, so... As he's going through turn 11, he's going on to between turns 3 and 4 of the original oval circuit. Should be braking right about the 250 mark, down into second. Some going to first for turn 13. Hold it in the second gear for another sharp corner. You can hear his tires just squealing for mercy. At least this is not a rain race like it was a couple seasons ago. You need a Noah's Ark to get around on this track. But with 1 minute and 10 seconds to go, he is not going to beat his time, but we're going to jump on to Luke Lockyer, who for some reason is not driving with his headlights on. Let's go to TV2. Why does he not have lights on? Anyways, Luke that was my friend, was purple, but he's 3/10 up on his lap now. That might put him in 3:35s. Nope, it is. Now he's purple. Purple for 3/10 of a second as he's coming to the start-finish line. And... no, he's still going to be in P2 with a 36.04. Yeah, you're looking at, was that tenths, hundredths, thousandths, so it's 5 thousandths. 45 hundredths of a second difference in P1 and P2. So as I'm saying that, we still have... Daniel Lopez riding the pole with Luke Locklear in P2 and Jacob Smith bringing up the final top 3. Yeah, Indianapolis is definitely a tough track. I wish I can get rid of these emojis on this gosh darn thing because I can never see all the thing that people are posting. They're like OG Ranger. It says Indianapolis is a tough track, but I can't see... like there's a heart there and I can't see around it. It's so tough for me to see that. But as I'm talking, Daniel Lopez, and qualifying is ending. Daniel Lopez is on a flyer. He's 2/10 up on his personal best on pole. Is he going to have another fast lap? He does. 1:35.795. Wow. Pretty dang quick, that's for sure. So... anybody else going to be able to beat their time? I'm not quite sure. We got Dean Solomon 2/10 of a second up on his time. That is not going to make him make up any positions on the track itself. Let's see here. He's in P7 currently. He's 3/10 up. That'd put him in third. Well, that would actually move him up to P6. But as I say that, I completely ruined his lap because I cursed him. Ooh, you get a nice little bit of sparks coming out of there. No, that does not. That actually keeps him at the same position here. So I'm going to jump us into intermission real quick while I back out and try to see if I can get this livery to work here, guys. So bear with me 1 second. Yeah, I can't. Uh-oh. Well, that's not good. My actual game actually just crashed, so let me reload the game. Bear with me, guys. That's wonderful. I don't know what's going on. It happened to me yesterday during the race. I didn't even get to take the green flag. It was literally coming out of the final turn, and bam, computer got the wonderful... EU4 game crashed. But the good news is I'm not racing today, so it should be rather easy for me to jump back in. Alright, so I'm back. Let's roll. Let's see Let's see if Paul Marriage is what I want it to be. It is good. I was able to fix. I mended something, as Jeremy Clarkson would say. All right. Once I get back onto the track, guys, I will get us going with the actual lineup of the 14 cars. There we go. So I hope you guys can hear me well. How do I sound? Do I sound good? Okay, so let's go ahead and go through our starting lineup here. We're going to start on P1 here. That is going to be Daniel Lopez. P2 is Luke Locklear. P3, hiccups, Jacob Smith. P4, got his livery working, is Paul Marriage. Marriage, no lo so. P5, Joe Kaiser. P6, Joel Price. P7, Dean Solomon in his back row GT Racing Audi. P7, Dean Sloan, Jesus. Steve Sloan, still rocking the Jurassic Park themed livery. P9 is Johnny DiMacci, our favorite Italian residing in Florida. P10, Bonus Charles in his Porsche 992 with his baby powder blue. P11, Cooper Samuelson in a Ferrari 296. Daniel Kiwi Kilwitzel, I murdered his name. That is P12. He is also in a Ferrari 296. P13 is going to be Gustavo Rodriguez in the McLaren. And rounding out the field is Adrian Vargas in his Mercedes AMG. And that is your starting lineup for today's race, guys. I hope you're excited. It should be a good one. We'll find out. All right, let's get a better view here. So 56 seconds before we start our parade lap here. Just kind of want to use this view. It gives us a better chance of seeing what's going on around the track. I really need to get a new keyboard, a wireless keyboard. My right arrow does not work anymore. So, yeah, it's not the easiest. I don't know, Jumpsies. What's up, Chris? Did you win last night, Chris? I bounced out. Well, put it this way. During the practice server, the temperatures were a lot higher than what I was expecting. So I had a quick setup with those tire pressures, and I had 2 different tire pressure setups. I was planning yesterday to take a set of tires during the race. Damn. I got an itch right in the middle of my back, and I can't reach it. But, yeah, my race was ended before it even dang started. That's the worst part for me. And, yeah, my plan was to take tires. This track's not the easiest on tires, plus adding in all the pressure issues. So here we go. As cars start to file away to go to a single line. All right, this is going to bother the tar out of me. I need to itch my back. It's like the worst feeling in the world when you got an itch and you can't reach it. You just need to find something to itch it. Oh, you bottled it up, Richard? Did you run out of fuel? What'd you? Oh, no, that's right. You had to baby it, right? You had to change your fuel settings, didn't you? Your engine map modes. The good news, Richard, is your favorite track's next week. That's the Hungaro Ring. So be sure to stay and watch us next week. We also have the European server race this weekend, and then on Wednesday nights we run the Division 2 races. So same time and place. Be sure to join us. Oh, talking about cutting it close. Well, you're driving the AMG now. You're not driving the Porsche, so that thing just guzzles gas. Guzzles it. It's almost like it's gurgling on it. But as the race is starting, it is technically 7:05 in the morning, Indianapolis time. Track temperature is 22 degrees, and so is the ambient temperature. I wish I had more information for you about what happened last night to tell you kind of what to expect, but I backed out because by the time I got my game up and running again with the headset on, I was like 4 laps down. It wasn't even worth my time to continue to try to run. So we are all going to be in this blind running together. But I know it's not going to rain. Shouldn't. And the temperatures will obviously rise due to the temperatures will rise due to sun coming up and whatnot. So the track temperatures will rise, tire pressures. It's going to be definitely an interesting race because you're going to run lower pressures at the start to have them build up to higher pressures when the temperatures come into the to play. So as they are rounding turn 15 onto the front stretch, we are getting ready, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Buckle your seatbelts. Get one more sip of beer, Chris. Let's get ready for racing as they are side by side, 2 by 2. Let's go racing now. Ooh, we got a jump right on the start. Luke Locklear tucks in right behind Daniel Lopez. Going into turn 1, leaving P3. Paul Mariage kind of stuck out there a little bit on the outside. He's going to guard the outside lane as he's doing that. Joel Price is getting a little frisky up there in his BMW, but we are 3 wide heading into turn 1. So far, everybody has made it through nice and clean. We do have a car going off the track, and I have no idea who that is, but he just committed suicide straight head into the wall. He pulled a Dale Earnhardt for sure. But as we are going into turn 4, we have... Oh, it looks like we had 2 cars in there. No, Daniel Kiewicz has went off the track. But going into turn 6 now, we got tight battle up front. Cars 2 by 2. We see Johnny going a little bit wide. Bonus takes a position from him. We are continuing onto the track. Turn 7. Still 2 by 2 in front of Bonus. We got Dean Solomon and Steve Sloan battling it out. Audi versus McLaren. 2 by 2 up front of them. Jesus, we got a lot of trading paint going. Oh my God! Joel Price was just murdered by Steve Sloan. There's going to be an arrest warrant out for you on that one, pal. Let's go ahead and see if we can get an instant replay on that because that was absolutely brutal. Where's Steve Sloan? There he is. So let's go back 30 seconds and let's get inside the car. You know what? Let's just keep it on TV1 here. Steve Sloan just missed his braking point and hit the curb and totally crushed Joel Price. Ouch. Not good. That is definitely not a way to want to start the race. Hey, I can't spell either. So looks like we lost a car. Is it Gustavo? No, Gustavo's still here. I don't remember who it was at the beginning of the race, but someone decided they wanted it to die at the beginning of the race, went straight into the wall. But as I'm saying that, we have a new leader of the race. That is Luke Locklear. What's up, huge hammer? Poor Eric Alvarez. Yeah, that work's kicking your butt now. So, as we are continuing down the race here, let's just go ahead and go through the drivers and the leaders here. We got Locklear P1, Smith P2, Mariage P3, Kaiser, Solomon, and Charles round out to the P6. Joel Price is still in P7, even though he got absolutely freaking hammered earlier in the race there by Steve Sloan. I'm sure, well, Luke's got a 15-second penalty for something. I'm not quite sure exactly what he got, but let's see here, because the guy who was leading the race, Daniel Lopez, is in the pits in P13. He's exiting the pits now, so I'm assuming that had to be some sort of issue between those two. Well, I mean, obviously he's sitting on 15 seconds, so he must have done something bad. We missed it. Sorry. We were witnessing murder of Joel Price. So, as I say that, Luke Locklear pulls in the fastest lap of a 37.2. He finally turns his lights on. I would have laughed hysterically if he got a black flag, because in a penalty for not turning his lights on. But, yeah. I'm assuming so, Eric. He had to. 15 second. It couldn't have been too terribly bad. If it was only 15 seconds, I missed it, and I don't know what. I don't really want to back up too terribly far to see where it is. But yeah. Oh, as I'm saying that, Jacob Smith is around. Turn 6, P2's around into the wall. Let's go back 10 seconds to see what's exactly happened to him. Oh, he got the curb. The curb monster got him. And Paul Mariage is like, thank you very much. Adios, amigo. And he is on the road to P2. So, a drive-through penalty for Steve Sloan. And that is going to be for absolutely destroying Joel Price. Who, by the way, is all the way up to P4. So it's actually been a pretty damn good start of the race here, guys. What's up, Abdul? Well, if you don't notice, Abdul, he's got a 15S next to him, which means he's got a penalty. But this battle here for P3 is heating up pretty good. We got this battle for here, and we got Gustavo Rodriguez just making a pass. Let's see. Is he going to be able to continue the pass on Adrian Vargas here? This is for P7, guys. Gustavo's getting awfully frisky here. The Mercedes versus McLaren battle. They're not giving up. I mean, they are side by side. They're going through turn 15 onto the front straight, the start-finish straight. Side by side. Who's going to give up? They're going to go into turn 1. It looks like Gustavo's going to tuck him behind, and maybe not. He's going to do the old switcheroo, try to get the inside line for turn 1. However, turn 2 is right there, so you better be able to make the pass right away, else you're going to be stuck on the outside again. However, Vargas did go a little bit wide, allowing Rodriguez to just get in there just a tad bit. He is side by side still. Solomon's all over the rear of him. As I say that, Vargas goes around, and Gustavo takes the position. He's now in P7, being followed by Dean Solomon, who is around himself. I don't know who got him. Was that Joel Kaiser? Did Joel Kaiser bump him? I don't think he bumped him. Nope. The curb he might have. The curb monster got him unsettled, and unfortunately, that looks like that is going to be not fun for him. We're going to jump back here to P3. We have 0.3 of a second between Bonus Charles and Joel Price. We have a drive-through penalty for Steve Sloan, and Joe Kaiser has a 5-second, along with Luke Locklear's 15-second penalty. Let's see how fat he can make that Porsche. Bonus, you better eat some ribeye steak, drink whole milk, and eat a bunch of carbs. Get that bad boy nice and fat, not let that BMW get around. Yeah, we got quite a few battles here. Joel Price is 0.2 of a second, but Johnny's creeping up on them too, so it's not like this is a for sure thing. Now Joel's going to have to worry about the old menage a trois here being the middle of the Eiffel Tower. But as I'm saying that, Joel is diving side by side going into turn 1. Bonus does have the inside line right away. He's going to push Joel a little bit to the wide, to the outside, but he does give him plenty of space. Bonus still continues on with his position. Oh, wow. I'm giving Joel all the credit in the world because he had absolutely smoke. Bud Light, anybody? No, thank you. That curb is getting people all sorts out of whack here in turn 6. Joel goes in a little deep. He's a little on the outside. Joel's going to lose a couple positions to Johnny, and it looks like Jacob Smith's going to be on the inside of him. He just got kind of rushed through, and he's still side by side with Jacob. Nope. So now it looks like Johnny's the meat in the sandwich now. There's good battles going on here. So currently Locklear in P1 has nearly a 6-second lead on Mariage in P2, but Bonus Charles in the final podium position right then and there. We got all kinds of movement going on back here. We got Joel Kaiser, Gustavo lost position. Joe got a position from him. Let's see. We got quite a few cars. We got Dean Solomon's in the pits, but I am going back to Bonus Charles making his Porsche fat. We know from last week that Bonus is pretty damn good at making that car fat. He's dumping into the pits, which is going to give up that position to Johnny Damachi, who's going to take P3 from him. I don't know if this is a let's go ahead and pit and try to get into clean air and run clean laps and not burn up your tires, or if he was having his setup completely wrong. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to say Joel's going to have DOTD today if he continues this up, especially after the incident that he ran into earlier. That's definitely for sure. But Vargas and Samuelson, they're battling out back here in the P8 for the P8 position. Samuelson in P8 and Vargas behind him in P9. They're 0.2 of a second separating these two. Let's see what Vargas can do, but it looks like that Ferrari is definitely better in the cornerings than the Mercedes is. And I know that Mercedes is very hard, and you have to get a really darn good setup to get that thing kind of planted where you want it. But we're going to go back up here to P4 and look at... Oh, no. Bonus got a speeding penalty. No! Oh, that's not good. Well, as of right now, guys, this is actually starting to look like Spielberg in the Austrian Grand Prix. You get a penalty, you get a penalty, you get a penalty, you get a penalty. Yeah, I think you're right. The undercut is probably the way to go. Anybody that watches the race last night probably would have taken a mental note of that. Plus, getting out in clean air and not having to race in a pack of cars, as much as how fun it is, it does definitely allows you to run your lines and run the way you want to run instead of having to duck and dive and protect corners and angles. So we got McLaren, BMW, and Audi battling it out here for the P3 position. But it does seem like Joel is... Did I see a flicker of a turn signal, which is odd because it's a BMW. Not because we're racing, but because it's a BMW. Was he signaling? Or are the lights bugged? Because it does. The lights are bugged. When he hits the brake lights, turn signals come on. They both dipped their tires under the grass here, but coming out of turn 7 onto the back straight. But that is unique. I didn't notice that before. See, it looks red from here, but it looked yellow initially, so interesting. I feel just gutted for Bonus right now. Because this track, car number 59 with the 5-second penalty. Dean Solomon with the 5-second penalty. Now he's 10 seconds. Ouch. I'm not quite sure who's actually doing the stewarding today, but it looks like we have the same stewards from Austria. I could be wrong, but maybe we imported them over here to the States. They're all wearing lederhosen, eating Wiener Schnitzel, having a good time. My guess is it's probably De Rosso, most likely. Our favorite German. Unfortunately, I don't think Marriage is going to have the pure raw pace as Luke, but anything can happen. As we've seen a few drivers hit that curve, just completely launching their car and unsettling it. So anything can happen. Let's jump on Jacob Smith. Let's see what happens if I go inside here. Well, let's just take a quick peek at the inside and how this battle's going on here. He goes wide. Oh, keep it on the track there, Jacob. There you go. See, this is one of the hardest things for me to do is when something like that happens, your brain and instinct wants to tell you just go, go, go. You got to continue. But you could really definitely screw a lot of things up by doing that. So I just can't believe Bonus. Feel gutted from 13 minutes into this race. We've had a hell of a race so far. Lots of action, contacts, thrills, and spills. Been pretty nuts. So what beer did you get, Chris? Just out of curiosity. Being from Colorado, I'm assuming it's probably Coors, maybe? Oh. It looks like
Jacob is struggling with some traction and a lot of sliding for him. This pack here is staying pretty tight here. We got a 7/10 between Johnny and Joel, and then another second to Jacob here. As you can see, he did have a few slips and slides that last lap. He went wide a couple times and whatnot. So, we'll see. Now he's gaining on Joel again. I haven't driven that Audi in a long time, so I'm not quite sure how well it does in these conditions, these tight, slow corners. And you know what, Chris? I just realized how stupid I am because Luke's got a 15-second penalty. So he's actually brought the gap down to 5.3 seconds. Just for reference, the last lap, Luke ran a 39.3 and Paul ran a 37.4. I just realized that yeah. I mean, pissing in a glass bottle and drinking it is better than Bud Light. It always has been. It has nothing to do with what's going on recently. So, Bud Light's pure garbage. That's the funniest part to me. Anywho, I don't tend to drink. If I drink American beers, it's usually Youngling, most likely. So, as I say that, we see Joel jump into the pits. He's going to, I'm assuming he's got a metric ton of damage. So that has moved Jacob Smith up onto, Voodoo Ranger. I've heard of Voodoo Ranger. I should have known better than that. I don't drink that hippie beer either. I just give me a nice, lager. Good. I know DeRoss is going to kill me when I say this, but Hofbräuhaus is my favorite. Hey, I'm sure you drink that Canadian stuff, Molson's. That's not bad either. I've had it a few times. As this battle's heating up here, Johnny and Jacob are battling on. Jacob definitely looks like he has way more pace than Johnny, but Johnny is able to keep him at bay at the time. I tell you what, you know what? I'll take this back. If I can never get it here, but if I could ever get Schwabenbrau here, I'd be quite happy. Even Stuttgarter Hofbräu, pretty good stuff too. But you won't be able to get that here. I do like Birra Moretti. It's not bad. Whatever that Itchy Ban or Itchy Ban or whatever that is in Italy is awful. It's like drinking goat urine. It's awful. So, yeah, P1 silver. Let's see here. So this is I didn't realize Johnny's silver. I for some reason thought he was gold. But Division 2 or Division 1 silver class battle for P1. Third overall P1 in class. Yeah, Smith has actually been there he goes. Bye. I was just going to literally... good job, Chris. You jinxed him. You jinxed him. It's all your fault because you jinxed him. Damn it. I didn't go back far enough. Have a good one, Richard. Richard, our P2 person from yesterday, didn't do too well. Ran out of fuel. Yep, hit that curb again. That curb took him right out of that. Ouch. So it looks like Jacob Smith Lawn Services opened up as an LLC in Indianapolis. Technically, it's in Speedway, Indiana, if you did not know that. Also, fun fact, the Indy 500 is not broadcasted live in Indianapolis. So, the more you know, guys. It's not just the Audi, Eric, that's had issues there. A couple other guys have had issues there too. It looks like they're clipping way too much of the curb. I'm allergic to curbs. I try to stay away from them. Even when I was driving the BMW, I didn't like hitting curbs. Because my old trusty Thrustmasters TX with the open wheel add-on just doesn't have enough power, and it's not so smooth. So when you hit curbs like that and it jolts you pretty bad, it's kind of a little bit harder to control. One of these days I'll rob somebody and get myself a nice DD. Anyways, so with Jacob Smith having his foray with his lawn care business, they have opened up some massive gaps. So the closest gap right now on track is going to be Cooper and Adrian Vargas, which is 4.8 seconds away. And then P2 here, Paul Mariage in his Alpine, he dumped that Red Bull livery because Checo is sucking. So he went to Alpine. He's 5 seconds behind Luke, which in theory is 10 seconds ahead of Luke, so he's actually in P1, if you really want to look at this. You know what? Let's just go ahead and throw this bad boy on autopilot for a little while. Let's see what's going on here. Wait, Eric, you don't have... I thought you had a DD. What wheel are you using? So I just threw this bad boy onto autopilot right now, so I don't have to continue to click back and forth for you guys here. We're just going to follow the action, let the program do its own business. I gotta say though, that purplish blue livery that Cooper's running, that I don't think it's anything. I think it's just a livery from the car selection. It's pretty good. Ranger, you talking about that wheel that's like the wheel itself, everything's like all in one? Oh, I thought for some reason you had a DD. With all the deals going on right now with Moza and even Fanatec, looks like getting a DD is definitely going to help. So track temperature and ambient has jumped by one whopping degree 20 minutes into this race. So with 39 minutes to go, we've gained one lousy degree. But as I'm saying that, looks like Cooper there got passed by Dean Solomon, but that is a lapped vehicle. So Dean Solomon's actually on lap 11 while Cooper's on 12. So that's lap 1. Yeah, Ranger, that Canis one really looks like, what was that, Nintendo Wii or whatever? It looks like one of those wheels. I've been searching around on Facebook Marketplace, and people are still trying to sell like their, Fanatec 5DD, CSL DD5 Newton meter one for like $400. It's like, dude, you can literally buy the package from them for that now. I'm not even going to get the 5 Newton meter one. I might as well. Holy smokes. Cooper goes off. You know what? I'm jumping off of autopilot because I do see some stuff going on the track. We got Adrian Vargas and Daniel Lopez battling it out here. Now, don't forget, Lopez was our pole sitter. He to start this race. I don't think this is going to be too much of a battle here, but you see Lopez staying behind him as long as he possibly can. My biggest issue with the whole market right now with the bases and wheels, even if you're looking at whether it's Fanatec or Moza or any of these other brands, it's not necessarily the base that's the problem. I just find it hard to believe that you can get even the R9 from Moza, but the wheel itself costs just as much as the damn base, and it's nothing special. But at least with Moza, you can use other wheels. Fanatec, you have to use their system. It looks like Adrian's just struggling out there as Bonus is able to get by him. Now, Bonus is a lap behind him, so technically Bonus will be getting the blue flag as we speak. But, yeah, we're going to go up here to Paul Mariage in P2. He is 6 seconds behind Luke Locklear. We're going to jump back to Daniel Lopez and Adrian Vargas. Battle, which is not much of a battle anymore because Daniel's going to be catching Cooper here very quick like. He's already a half second within that last 3 seconds of me saying anything. Daniel Lopez is on a mission. He's got about a half a lap he's got to get to catch back up to where P1 would actually be on this track. So if you're looking at the mini map there, you can basically see as Lopez is rounding turn 15, his nemesis there, Luke, is turning basically right across the track from him at the moment. So Daniel Lopez is all over the back of Cooper Samuelson, heading down to start-finish straight, going into turn 1. He's on the inside. He's diving. He's got the position. Easy peasy. And Bonus Charles is... I don't know what he's doing, but he and Vargas decide they want to have a foray and a party off the track. So, ouch. Yeah, Ranger, I've seen a lot of people complaining about that. Now I get it. A lot more people are going to complain that are not happy. It's always the unhappy ones that are the most vocal. And again, you're spending a bunch of money, but even on Reddit, seeing how many people are talking about the issues with Fanatec, and it's not even that the problem that I'm seeing, that it's the customer service and RMA situations that a lot of people are dealing with. But again, you're making millions of these things, and you're not going to be perfect all the way down the road. So Luke has pulled out a 7-second lead on Paul. Paul's got a 10, almost 11-second lead on DeMarchi in P3, and Joe Kaiser's only 4 seconds behind him in P4. So as the battle is heating up here, we have a 6-second lead to Gustavo Rodriguez here in P5. He has Dean Solomon, who's a lap down, passing him here into turn 1. Is Dean going to be able to keep it on the track? It doesn't look like he's able to. Gustavo gives him enough space there. Didn't crowd the car too much there. Now you are able to race each other if you're a blue flag car. You just have to give them space. If you're faster than somebody, you pass them. But I know I've been in both shoes here before, where I've been faster and I've been lapped due to circumstances, and you don't want to ruin some dude's race because you're faster than them, trying to get by, past them and try to get back into the race, versus the dude who's on the lead lap being harassed by a lap car. So tell you what, I really, too bad that the Thrustmaster's base is like $9,000 or something like that. I'd totally jump all over that, but because I got Thrustmaster, everything else, I got the wheel already, I got the pedals, the load cells, so I was kind of hoping it would be much more financially better. There's been a few other ones I was looking at, but I'm definitely going into a hardcore saving mode for to try to get one before Christmas. Even, let's see, you can get the Alpha Mini base for $539. So, why not? It ain't gonna make me any faster. It's just gonna be much more fun. It'd be better, especially in high downforce cars, formula cars, open wheel cars. Definitely be able to feel better. But anywho, as we go on the track here, Gustavo Rodriguez has a second gap between him and Daniel Lopez. Lopez has crushed that, 12-second lead that Gustavo had, and now is all over the rear end of him, 0.2 of a second. As they're heading onto the back straight, going through turn 7, it does look like Daniel Lopez is going to possibly try to make a dive. No, he's not. He's going to hold off. Okay. But he's faster than him. I know it's killing him to stick behind, but he is faster than him. He was our pole sitter, and he was our pole sitter by almost a half a second, so. We got some glitching going on here. Look at that. So heading into turn 13, we have Lopez making the pass on the inside onto Gustavo, and for the P5 position. It's actually been a pretty darn good recovery drive by Daniel Lopez. He was down at the very bottom of the field, has made his way back, so good job. Well, yeah, I mean, realistically, Chris, one of my biggest issues is not the fact that I'm slow. I'm married and I have a kid, so I can only get so much time. And even, like tonight, she's like, you know what, let's watch a movie. And so, I got prior engagements, so that's why I'm not really on the weekends very much anymore, because unfortunately I was ignoring my family for a while. And we don't want to do that. At least I don't. So Luke has opened up, Locklear has opened up an 8.4 second lead to Paul Marriage. Johnny DeMarchis in P3, he's got 11.5 seconds to Marriage, and Kaiser is only 2.5 seconds behind Johnny. We're going to jump to that battle here because it is going to heat on. We have McLaren on McLaren action going on in front of us here. Going to be interesting because the last lap for Johnny, he ran at 39.025 while Joel ran at 37.6. Both of them yet to pit. And granted, now DeMarchi does not have a penalty while Joe does have a 5-second penalty, so when he gets into the pits, Joe is going to have to serve that 5-second penalty. Joe has some issues there in turn 1, it looks like. But let's go through our grid here. So let's just run through the whole battleground here. We got Locklear, Mirage, DeMarchi on your podium here. Kaiser 4, Lopez 5, Rodriguez 6, Samuelson 7, Vargas 8th, Price 9th, Smith 10th, Sloan 11th, Solomon 12th, and Bonus Charles bringing up the rear here. Gustavo Rodriguez has dove into the pits. He is going to serve his pit stop. And for those who are new to the Odyssey Racing League rules, we have a 1 pit stop's mandatory. You only have to take 1 liter of fuel. Tires are not mandatory. Yeah, so there you go. You're right. You're 100% right, Ranger. But the missus and the kiddo are leaving for Italy 2 weeks before I am. So in 10 days, on a Wednesday night, it's going to be me solo. I'm going to be bachelor padding it up. So pretty much every night, every day, other than when there's actual racing on TV, my pasty white butt will be sitting in this placey racing chair racing. So I need to look for some races those 2 weekends to see if I can get some endurance races. So we got a little lull in the time here. Let's go ahead and talk about a few of our sponsors. Our Rogue Energy is designed to be the ultimate gaming energy drink. 0 sugar, 0 fillers, and 5 calories, packed with essential vitamins and loaded with brain-enhancing nootropics at optimal levels. Make a switch to a better tasting, better mixing, more effective gaming drink. Use code Odyssey Racing for 10% off at checkout, guys. Yeah, I think Joel's kid's my kid's age too. He turns 6 in a month, so I think they're right about the same age. Why isn't Abdul running? Our fearless leader Tyler's frolicking around in Europe somewhere on a boat. We got a couple guys out right now on vacation. Who else is out? Baravotes is out. Yeah, it's been quite a few guys. So I'm actually kind of surprised. A little over halfway through this race here, 32 minutes, and we've only had 1 degree temperature rise on both ambient and track temperature. It's kind of a surprise to me. So with 6 out of the 13 cars yet to pit, I don't know what they're waiting on now. There we go. This battle's heating back up. Joe Kaiser's all over Johnny here, but Johnny's holding his own. Joe just can't seem to get a good run on Johnny. It looks like these guys have learned their lessons. Excuse me, hiccup. And are staying away from the curbs. Yeah, Paul's still in this. He's got some work to do, though. He's got... Luke's pulled out a 9-second lead. So Paul's going to have to definitely speed it up a little bit. As I say that, Johnny is stuck to the inside there. Is he giving up that position, or did he just take a really bad line? But we have a new position on the podium. That is going to be Joe Kaiser in P3. But it doesn't really matter because he's got a 5-second penalty. So as long as Johnny can keep this within 5 seconds, they both still have to pit. Be alright. And let's just keep a track of this. 26 minutes left to go in the race. Daniel Lopez is 28 seconds behind these two. Their last lap, 2-second difference. Well, second, 1.2 seconds. Excuse me. As I say that, Joe dumps into the pits. Luke has jumped into the pits. We have a new race leader of Paul Mirage. Okay, anybody speak Spanish in this chat? Can they tell me how the hell you're supposed to pronounce his name? I'm not going to assume you do, Eric, but can someone help me out here and give me a phonetic way of saying his name? But yes, you're correct. Luke is in the pits, so we have new 1 and 2. We have Mariage followed by DeMarchi, and Locklear still in the pits. Still sitting idle while he's got a enema of a McLaren up on his backside there. Of Joe Kaiser also in the pits. He had a 5-second penalty. So we're clearing some penalties off the boards here, guys. What happened to our Mariagi? Whatever. I don't know. I feel bad. I don't speak Spanish. No hablo español. Where's Tyler when you need him? I should ask my wife. She speaks Spanish. Seriously, my wife's like one of the smartest people I ever know. She speaks Sicilian because obviously she was born there. She speaks Italian because obviously she was born there. She went to school in Spain. Also did a semester in Spain, so she speaks Spanish. She speaks English and Southern English. Pretty impressive. Pretty darn impressive for her. The more comical thing is my mother-in-law, who I love to death, by the way, is an English teacher in Sicily. Not a very good one. But she bought a t-shirt that had the F-bomb written on it, had no idea what it meant. I had to explain to her one day when we were living there. I was like, you do understand your shirt basically means Katsu, right? And the look on her face was priceless. But as we are speaking of ill will here, Daniel Lopez is 26 seconds behind Johnny, who is 15 seconds behind Paul. So we're looking at what? 41 seconds? 42 seconds difference? And how long are these pits? They're looking at 55 seconds? Not good. So we're going to look at our positions gained here. Yet we have 2 cars yet to pit. That's both Paul and Johnny. So Joe Kaiser, Paul started P4. He's obviously moved up 3 spots. Johnny started in P9. Obviously, that's pretty impressive, moving up 7 spots for him. But biggest gainer other than those two is going to be Gustavo Rodriguez, who started P13, up 5 positions in the P8 spot. Followed closely by Adrian Vargas, who started 1 position behind him in P14. But unfortunately, our biggest loser of the night so far has been Dean Solomon, started P7. He's all the way down there in P11, so... Dude, Ryan, I'm glad Richard's not here anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and say this. I saw a funny meme one time. It was a Dr. Pepper cup and had 2 straws in it. It just said DP and it had 2 straws in it. The worst part in my life but yet funniest part of my life was when I actually posted that. I think it was on Facebook or something. This was a couple years ago. And my mom asked me, what's that mean? And having to try to explain to your mother. By the way, at the time I was probably 35 or 36. I'm 38 now. Yeah, that was an interesting conversation. Let's just go ahead and leave it at that. I was in tears laughing hysterically at her. So, Dean Solomon has gotten past Adrian Vargas here. That's for P9. But the gaps here are pretty spread out here. We got Bonus Charles and Cooper Samuelson fighting it out for P12. These guys are all on. These are on the same lap. Just gutted for Bonus. Unfortunately, what happened to him early in the race, getting that speeding in the pits penalty, definitely ruined his race. This pit here is god-awful long and terrible, so a drive-through here, not only just a drive-through, but he had a drive-through stop and go 30. So, poor guy kind of got double hammered on that one. Alright, so Bonus has moved in with about a second of him. I'm just interested to see. I mean, Luke had a 28.9 second pit. But it looks like you're losing about 52 seconds, 52 to 55 seconds in the pits, just driving in the pit lane. So, you think Paul's pulling a Chris Rise here, Chris? Waiting till the last lap to have a pit stop? Cruising for a bruising? Up there up front? All I know is I should have hit you last week. I hit Robbie instead. My brain was not thinking last week going into Puhan. You were on the inside line. I was right behind you and Robbie. And I was thinking to myself, when it was going on, why did you brake so hard where you did? But after about 2 seconds after it happened, I thought, well, you moron, he had a terrible angle, and he had to. But instead of hitting you, I hit Robbie. So I guess that makes up for Valencia. So we've only actually lost one car so far this race. I can't even remember who exactly that was. Maybe someone can help me out here. But yeah, that's pretty much it so far. I'm just interested to see. Johnny has jumped into the pits. I'm sure he's just doing fuel. But we've only gained 1 degree of temperature so far in this race. So if you dialed in your tire pressures early, you're golden. Oh, Robbie's paid me back multiple times, don't worry. I think I still owe him 4 or 5 shots. Valencia, I don't know. He like when he broke. I can't remember what turn it was. It was towards in sector 3. He just car got unsettled and got him crossed up, and he smoked me. I mean, it was he got a penalty for it, but it was not like he did it intentional. It's not like he NASCAR'd me out of the corner. So no ill will there. And again, last week at Spa was more of a, oh crap, at least I bumped him and I got a penalty for it. I think it was 10 seconds or something goofy like that, but I didn't take him out. So here it goes. Paul Mariage is in the pits. The final car with 17 and a half minutes to go. Let's see where this ends. Right now, let's see. Oops. Daniel Lopez is in P2. Luke Locklear is in P3. Where's Lopez at? This is going to be an interesting battle here. We're going to go ahead and keep it on Daniel Lopez. Let's go to Helicam. Is Paul Mariage moving yet? Nope, he's still stuck in the pits. Not moving. He's going to be toast. This is going to be toast. He's going to be toast. He's probably going to lose out to not only Lopez. I mean, he's moving, but Lopez is going to go blowing by him here in a second. Right now. So we have a new leader, the original pole sitter of the race. First to last to first again. Now, Eric, no, this is a first, because he was on pole, to last to first. That's like a triple crown right there. Question is Luke going to catch him? No, Luke is not going to catch him. So Paul's still going to be in second position here. Man, Daniel's freaking flying. I mean, he's absolutely moving because he's 13 seconds gapped on Paul. Absolutely intense. Save the Bees racing. Daniel Lopez. I'm very impressed. Dude deserves an extra freaking 5 points for that. And look at Joel Price here in P5. He's pretty much been in the. He started P6, so he's moved up a spot. Not only that, but he got killed at the beginning of the race, so good for him. We got Steve Sloan and Gustavo battling it out for P7. This is a silver bat matchup. This is technically for the final podium position in the silver class, as Steve Sloan is playing soccer with the baller there, knocking it across the track. Someone with ADHD, that could have really kind of screwed them up. They're side by side heading down the start-finish line. Gustavo's going to take that inside line. It doesn't look like he's at the quarter panel, rear quarter panel, but he's not going to take a move here. It's best to tuck him behind him there. I mean, Daniel's absolutely just moving. Absolutely moving. He 13-second gap to Paul and a 15-second gap, well, almost 16-second gap from Paul to Locklear. So we have a battle for fourth coming up here. Fourth overall for between DeMarchi and Price. That would actually move Price into fourth overall, both in the race and in class. We have a yellow flag on the track. We have a car sideways. He's backing up. It's Adrian Vargas. Let's go back 10 seconds, see if we can catch it. He just lost control. But good for him. Held the brakes. Saw their car coming. Good job. It's the way to do it there, Adrian. Good job, man. Steve Sloan and Gustavo are side by side heading out of turn 12 onto the turn 3 and 4, the oval. Steve has the inside line heading into turn 13. He takes the position. They both are getting blue flagged right now because Daniel Lopez is all over the back of them. Lopez cuts between them. Lopez is now in the middle of a blue flag sandwich. He's going around turn 15. Question is Sloan going to let up and let him pass on the start-finish rate? It's going to be tough for him knowing that he's just battling for position. Oof, this can be tough. Just for a reference here, Steve Sloan, where are we at here on the map here? Steve Sloan ran a 139.8 last lap. Last lap, Daniel ran a 37.4, so 2 seconds difference. Holy Christ. Huge difference. But we're going to go here to P4 with 13 minutes to go in this race. We got a battle for P4 overall between DeMarchi and Joel Price. Lopez's times last lap, he ran a 37.447. He's got the purple lap of the race at 36.8. We'll jump on Daniel Lopez here just to give you an idea what his times were so you can see them. But that is, I mean, his delta's down in the red by half a second, but right now it's pretty much don't take unnecessary risks with 12 and a half minutes to go in the race. Still drive fast, but there's no reason to take unnecessary risks at this moment. Andreas, do you think he's part of your team, isn't he, Andreas? Aren't you guys all on the same team, a Costa Rican team, right? Yeah, Lopez is just absolutely moving. He's only 1/10 of a second down on his overall time here, but this is going to be a battle that's going to be interesting. You know, I know Johnny's not going to want to give up positions to Price. Price is wanting to get past him, and it's a battle of patience and will here going on to the start-finish line. As I say that, oof. Joel goes a little wide. Let's go back 10 seconds and see if we can watch this. Yep, onto the grass, clips the wall on the start-finish line. Ouch. Yeah, that was actually not a bad camera view right there. Let's, I have no idea what is going on with these camera views. That is not right. Holy Christ. Easy. Yeah, Eric, he has something to prove, that's for sure. Beating people like they stole something. Yeah, those BMWs are freaking tanks. BMW. Looks like Johnny's starting to struggle a little bit with some tire wear. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It was not supposed to be that way. I wonder if it happens if I try going back to it. It's still doing the same thing. This is so weird. What is going on? Why are you doing this? What is going on? I have no idea, but that's pretty cool. How'd you end up doing yesterday, Andreas? I saw Lucia was doing pretty decent until she had some unexpected visitors hitting her. Man, these guys have been battling for a few laps now. It seems like Price just wants to. He's diving to the inside into turn one. Nope, he's not going to even make the attempt. Just poking his head in there. I'm there. And he does. He actually forces Johnny to make a mistake. Let's go back 10 seconds and get a good, nice helicam view of this. He dives in the inside, makes Johnny look in his mirrors, misses his braking point. Johnny goes off track, and Joel takes the position. Not a bad move. Forced him to make a mistake. Attaboy. Nice move, Joel. For those of you who watched last night's race that weren't participants, Joel was our announcer last night. Luke is our normal announcer for the Wednesday night races, but Joel did it cover for him last night. So, good for him. Again, that's a pretty nice drive on his part. Johnny's off the track again. I think I said it a couple laps ago. It looked like Johnny was sliding around. He's definitely having some issues with tires. No, Chris, it wasn't me that was having issues with the replays last season. It was the program itself. It was freezing up the program and glitching out. So I don't know what exactly it is. I'm not nerdy enough for that. But something was definitely going on with the programming. Well, that's not bad. Definitely nice to have those Go setups, huh? And by the way, Go Setups is one of our sponsors. If you're looking to be fast, but a stable setup, trusted by the Odyssey esports teams, head over to Go Setups for the best setups in the market. I'm going to drop the link to that in the chat here for you guys. So for those who don't have it, I think Andreas is our newest member to the Go Setup family. He can tell you, I think he sent to me that he was a second faster right away. So it's pretty darn good. Another set of our sponsors here, it's the same company, but it's ACC Drive and ACC TV. So ACC Drive, if you don't have it, is wonderful. It's a racer's toolkit trusted by the Odyssey esports team. You can have different HUDs on there, your tires, info, which tells you your damage at times, flags, which actually tells you where the car is on the track, if it's spun out, wrecked. it's that fantastic tool. And ACC TV for broadcasting, that's what I'm actually currently using right now. Yeah, it's definitely a good product that they have there. So I'll drop in the link for ACC Drive for those who don't have it also. That way you guys can take a peek at it. It's definitely worthwhile. Definitely look it up on YouTube. It works on VR for those who don't that are using VR. So with 6.5 minutes to go in this race, we have Lopez followed by Marriage and Luke Locklear. Marriage and Locklear have about a 17.5 second lead. I can't believe he used the Go setup for Paul Ricard for this. But hey, whatever works, right? But Johnny's not giving up. He's still within a second of Joel. So these guys are actually matching each other's times pretty much for the most part. I mean, Joel was a 0.7 of a second slower the last lap. But I don't know if Johnny had some graining going on, maybe some blistering. But I said about 2 laps before he got past that it looked like he was sliding a little bit more than normal. So maybe bumped up his traction control. Gustavo and Dean Solomon here. Holy Christ. Holy Moses on a rocket-powered pogo stick. That was close. Goodness gracious. But 5 minutes to go in this race. The battle for P8 between Solomon and Rodriguez is heating up. Did I just witness flashing? Dude, you guys are battling for position. Don't be flashing lights. As I'm saying that, Solomon's trying to go on the outside of him. Just can't get past him. Gustavo has made that McLaren fat. Could just pull the sort of Asian tactic and park in the car in the apex. Knowing with the balance of power, it's pretty hard for someone to get out of that corner, you know. It works. It's effective. It works. But as I say that, Gustavo goes wide, comes back down, slide jobs on Solomon there. And Solomon's not going to like that. But these two are battling out pretty hard for this P8 position. I don't remember Gustavo racing with us. Is this his first race? Maybe somebody in chat can tell me, but good for him. This is a silver driver with a gold driver. Solomon's got 10-second penalty anyway, so realistically, I mean, I wouldn't give it up either, though. So for your Division 1 gold leaders, we got P1, Lopez, Marriage, and P2, and Locklear in P3. The silver class leader is Johnny DeMarchi, Jacob Smith in P2, and Steve Sloan in P3. So there you go. Try to see what we can do for interviews here in the next 3.5 minutes as this race is winding down. We got some weaving action here. What are we? Were you on Paul Ricard or something here? Oh, Solomon's diving. He's going to late break here into turn 1. He's going to get the position. But is he going to be able to keep it on track? It does look like it. Good, nice clean pass by him there, but he unfortunately had to sacrifice turn 2 and has allowed Gustavo to get right on the backside of him here as we're going to turn 4 into the short little straight before they have a nice heavy braking zone into the left-hander. Let's see what happens if Gustavo is able to keep in striking distance. But as I'm saying that, you see that purple and blue pinkish color WT Porsche 992 back there. That is going to be Marriage. These guys are going to be given a blue flag here in a second. Marriage, who's that behind him? Car number is a 24, Joe Kaiser in P10. So as this battle's going on, Joe Kaiser's sitting back there going, I could take another 2 positions if I keep this up. You know, also to be 100% honest with you, Chris, about the whole setup here, I got like a little rolling filing cabinet next to me that I got the keyboard and mouse on. But unfortunately, with that elbow surgery I had last year about this time, I had like pulled the drawer out a little bit to rest my arm on it. And I noticed like the last 2-3 races that I've been doing this because I keep my arm on the mouse, obviously. that basically my elbow and hand are completely numb and sore as all can be. So I put a pillow there today, so it actually has made it quite more comfortable. Never underestimate the ingenuity of a redneck. So Joel has actually pulled out about a 5-second gap on Johnny, but Johnny's going to have to watch himself here because he has Jacob Smith on his backside. This is going to be for the lead in Division 1 Silver class. So this is not only for 5th place overall, but for the first position in the Silver class. So let's see how this battle is going to turn out with a minute and 14 seconds to go in the race. This looks like it's probably going to be the last lap. Where's Lopez at here? Lopez is on turn 11, so yep, he's got one more lap to go for him. So we're going to jump back into here. Gustavo's got a 4. Oh my goodness. I'm going to keep it here because this is actually for a lead in the class. Jacob's lost about half a second, but Gustavo's got, Kaiser all over the back end of him. He's 0.4 of a second back heading into turn 10 and 11. There's a good chance for him to snag that P9 position away from Gustavo as they're going onto the turn 3-4 of the oval. The leader is on your final lap here. Joe Kaiser is on the outside. Going into turn 13, does not get the position. Turn 14, still right behind him. Oh my goodness, he's all over the backside of him. He's so close to his rear end, he can tell what he had for dinner last night. Going onto the start-finish line. Oh, I thought he was going to hit the wall. Sorry. They are side by side. Cross the start-finish line side by side. Luke Locklear's got a white flag. Well, he was going slow for some reason, I guess. But we're going to go back to Joe Kaiser. They're going to be going into turn 1 side by side. McLaren on McLaren action here. Looks like he's going to secede the position for a better run out of the corner, which does seem like it's a smart plan on his part, because hopefully he can get him on this backstretch. We're going to jump up here to Daniel Lopez as he's going into turn 8. You probably see those guys poking their head back there in just a second, but yeah. And the closest car to Daniel Lopez right now is going to be car number 5, and that is Steve Sloan, who's in P7. Pretty impressive on his part. I'm going to say, God, I don't want to pull off of him because Daniel's going to be winning this race, but we got 0.3 of a second between Johnny DeMarchi and Jacob Smith. This is 4P1 in the silver division, or silver class of Division 1, excuse me. As I say this, we have your race winner is Daniel Lopez. He crossed the start-finish line in P1. We have P2 is going to be locked up by Paul Mariage. This battle here for P5 is going to be interesting. I'm sorry, Paul. I'd like to keep you there, but we got a battle for position and for the class lead, so we're going to stick with this one. We're a half second, 0.4 of a second. We're going to turn 11. You only got a couple more turns to make this happen. And one of them is going to be this heavy braking zone coming up here into turn 13. Johnny does that little twitch right there. It kind of keeps him in check so he doesn't lose that inside line. Oh, Jacob Smith's going to take a run on the outside. They're going to go on the inside. Oh, I thought he was going to try to force that. But they both kind of peel off the track a little bit. And it does look like Johnny DeMarchi is going to retain that P1 position in the silver class and is going to finish 5th overall. Bonus Charles smokes the wall there. I don't know if he let go of his steering wheel or whatever, but it does look like Rodriguez was able to hold off Joe Kaiser there. So we're going to go to intermission here for a second. Let me go ahead and save this replay. I'm going to try getting a few guys in here for a nice little chat, so bear with me here. So let's see if we can get Daniel Lopez. Is he even in the chats? I don't see him. We got Johnny DeMarchi. Boy, there's no one in here. So I'm going to actually pull in Paul to see if Paul will be able to speak with us here. So bear with me, guys. Paul, can you hear me? He's still got his thing on mute, so I don't think he can hear me. Let's see. Paul's not. He's on. Let's move him back over here. We're moving the VC. I'm going to go ahead and pull Johnny in because I know he's able to talk. So let's get Johnny in here. Signor DeMarchi, how are you?
Hey, what's happening, man?
P1, man.
That was a lot of fun. It really was. Oh, my God.
Not bad. Yeah, I mean, when you gave up that position to Joel, I actually kind of made. I said literally like the 2 laps prior to that, I'm like, Johnny's losing some grip. He's sliding all over the place. But you kept it.
I definitely pushed those tires a little too hard towards the end there. It was getting a little slippery, and letting Joel by was kind of half a mistake, half undecided, because I couldn't tell how far back he was from me. He wasn't flashing me, but I couldn't tell. I was messing around with the controls trying to figure out who was in front of us, because if it was a what do they call it? Not a silver, whatever the hell the other one is.
Gold.
I had to let him by so that he could attack him. So I kind of was, I just screwed up. I dove deep on one turn. I said, screw it, let him go. And then realized that it was one of my guys, not one of his. So I was like, oh, well. But we ended up catching him anyway.
Yeah,
man,
that last battle there towards the end with you and Smith, yeah, that was interesting.
That was awesome.
I will say this. Your little... Some people might say it's dirty. I don't. But that little twitch thing you did there at turn 13, the second to last turn, where you kind of ducked in real quick to the right to say, "Hey, I'm here. I know you."
He's going to dive inside me.
Yep, yeah. That was smart. I mean, you didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't a full-on lane switch. It was just here we go.
No.
And you held that.
Yeah, I mean, I had the line, so I'm going to pick it. I mean, he broadcasted that he was going on the inside. I could tell he was going on the inside, so I had to. And I'm not used to that turn, so I kind of had to take it a little slow. I mean, I wasn't trying to brake check him.
No.
But, it's I had to defend my line. That was for a position. So.
And it wasn't moving under braking. It was clean. There's no denying that.
Fast. Oh my God, he's quick.
I'm impressed with the winner, man. He got first to last to first. Lopez was absolutely flying, but he wasn't in the chat, so I can't get him for an interview. But again, man, congratulations. I mean, what was that? P5 overall and P1 in your group. Yeah. So that'll be it, man.
It's tough running against those gold guys. Those guys are fast. So did my best. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. See you next week.
Yeah, man. Take care.
All right, guys. So that is going to be it for us tonight. Again, thank you for all who's joined us. We are going to be back at the same place, same time next week. This time it's going to be at the Hungaroring there in Budapest, Hungary. Feel free to join us there. We're also going to be don't forget the Division number 2, that runs on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch guys like Chris Rise, myself, and Andreas Murillo run it on Wednesday nights. And that'll do it for us tonight. Congratulations to Lopez on the win, and congratulations to Johnny DeMarchi for his win on the silver class. Have a great weekend. See you next time, guys. Bye.